Good morning.
Good morning, Father.
This question is probably a little bit an unfair question, yet I'm going to ask this question. What is one thing necessary to succeed? I can see you thinking. What's one thing necessary to succeed, be it in life in general, at work, in relationships, in spiritual life, in prayer life? What is that one necessary thing? Something without which it would be difficult, if not impossible, to succeed. Now, you have probably thought of many things, and they are undoubtedly important, but let me suggest that one necessary thing to succeed in anything is this. Are you ready? Commitment. Commitment. Wouldn't you agree? Commitment. To be committed. In today's gospel, Jesus meets a person often called the rich young man. In the Gospel of Mark, we learn that he was rich. In the Gospel of Matthew, and only in that Gospel do we find out that he was also young. Now he wants to know how to inherit eternal life. Now the man seems, as you read the story, to be good, righteous, has comfortable life, probably good education, wonderful friends. He has followed all the commandments of God faithfully. Now, he could have stopped right there after Jesus told him to follow all the commandments. Yet, his answer reveals that something is still lacking, that he's looking for more. He says, I have done all these things from my youth. But still, something is missing. And now Mark tells us Jesus, looking at him, loved him. And I never really paid attention to that statement. He loved him. So Jesus' invitation that's about to come to him is rooted in love. Simply love. No hidden agenda, just love. So Jesus, looking at him, loved him and said to him, you are lacking in one thing. So Jesus is recognizing that he is looking for something more. And then he says, so go, sell what you have, and give it to the poor, and you will have treasures in heaven. Then come, follow me. So Jesus wants him to follow him the way Peter, John, Thomas, and James did. the apostles. They have left everything behind to follow Jesus. And that's what Peter says in today's gospel. He says, we have given up everything to follow you. So what Jesus is saying is, come and join us, to this rich man. Now, upon hearing that, the rich man was filled with sadness, for he had many possessions. So in the story, for this man, it was his wealth that made it impossible to commit fully to follow Jesus. It was his possessions that got in the way of following Jesus in a radical way. Now, I would suggest that most of us are not burdened with a lot of wealth. But there can be other things in our lives that can get in the way of following Jesus fully. And maybe it is fear of change or resistance to change, or inability to trust and to love. Maybe it is some stubborn attachment to something that I cannot let go. Maybe it is something rooted in fear or insecurity. It may be resistance to be a part of a community where everyone is more or less imperfect. Because I'm looking for a perfect community. And there may be some other reasons that stand in the way. Now, why else commitment can be difficult? Well, we like to keep our options open, don't we? It is good to have a way out. We like to be in charge when things get tough. Now, in today's gospel story, Jesus is not asking us to sell everything we have. That would be a big collection. I mean, this would be unreasonable. It would be unreasonable for Jesus to ask us to do so. Though some people may do so, like St. Francis of Assisi, or the Trappist monks at St. Joseph's Abbey in Spencer, Massachusetts, they indeed give up everything. Or some of the followers of Jesus, like the apostles. But that's not a universal call for everyone. Jesus is not asking us to sell everything. He's asking us to give everything to follow him. Your heart, your mind, your energy, your strength. Now, you probably would agree that if I give only half of myself to something, let's say to a relationship, just half, it will be half happy, half what you give is what you... That's right. What is the least I can do to make it work? The least. What is the minimum? None of us can thrive as a person, as a human being, in any area of our lives based on the philosophy of least efforts, minimums, half commitments, living according to the minimalist philosophy of what is the least I can do. And that is true if you are a student and you want to succeed, or an athlete, or a spouse, a professional, a business person. It is true of any and every aspect of our lives, including our faith, including being the follower of Christ. But if we are honest with ourselves, it's probably impossible to think that we can always give 100% to everything. Sometimes, I can give or get to 75%, and that's as far as I can get to. And that's fine. The point is to try to give your best, to try to give what you can and what you have at that moment to whatever it is. To commit yourself as fully as possible. So maybe today, Jesus' invitation is, and remember that Jesus' invitations to us are always rooted in love. So maybe today the invitation is this: to always ask ourselves, not what is the least I can do as a person of faith, but to give it everything I have, right at that moment. To sell everything, so to speak, in order to follow Jesus.
Don't forget to follow St. Patrick's on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube. And please join us for any of our live stream masses this weekend. Details are below in the description. God bless you.
Like burning incense, O Lord, let my prayer rise up to you. Like burning incense, O Lord, let my prayer rise up to